Hello there, Pre-Matriculants. We are in the most wealthiest province in South Africa, in Gauteng province, studying basaltic plateaus. It says here, study figure 1.2, providing information of the Deccan Plateau, which is a basaltic plateau in India, and answer the questions that follow. Now they say study the figure. This one is a figure and there's also a case study, so you must study the figure properly before rushing to answer the questions, grade 11s. So now here, let's look at our figure here. We've got figure 1.2, which is a basaltic plateau, of course. The basaltic plateau, this is an image of a basaltic plateau. This is the plateau, is just a big layer of rock that is forming from basaltic lava, right? So now it says here, in this case study, the Deccan Plateau is a large plateau in India, making up most of the southern part of the country. It rises 1,000 meters, 330 feet in the north, and to more than 1 kilometer, which is approximately 0.2 miles in the south, forming a raised triangle within the downwards pointing triangle of the Indian subcontinent's coastline. So here, let us just look at this diagram here. It's written Himalayas mountains. You know that from climatology, of course, the monsoon winds. But now here is the Deccan Plateau here. This is the Deccan Plateau. They've just shown it with an arrow to say that this is the Deccan Plateau. Mind this Deccan Plateau, it is just a raised piece of land, which is just a highlying area that is made up of basaltic rock. So here, this is a plateau that is found near the coast. So this is found near the coast because this is definitely the land that is near the ocean. Okay, this is the land that is near the ocean, which is the coastal areas. All right, and then now we can see that here there are Eastern Ghats mountain. So there's an Eastern Ghats mountain that is found on this side of the, okay, on this side that I'm highlighting with blue. On this side of this Deccan Plateau, we find Eastern Ghats, and then on the other side we find Western Ghats. It's written here, Western Ghats. So now let us now look at the questions now that we have studied, because the diagram is complex. You needed to break it down so that you could get a full comprehension. Now, question 1.2.1 asks us, the question 1.2.1 asks us, what type of rock are associated with basaltic mountains? You learned of the types of rocks in grade 10 that you've got three types of rocks. You've got igneous rocks, you've got sedimentary rocks, as well as metamorphic rocks. In this case, we are talking about basaltic mountains. When you say that the mountains are basaltic, it means that they are made up of basalt. The type of rock that is known as basalt, I'm sure you know, basalt is an example of an igneous rock. So the type of rock here that is found on these basaltic mountains is igneous rock. So if they say the type of rock, you just say igneous rock. But if they want the name of the rock or the example of the rock, you have to say basalt. That is the rock name. But the type is an igneous rock, the strongest rock that forms from lava. And then now it says on 1.2.2, it asks us, name the mountain ranges on either sides of the Deccan Plateau. They want to know what are the mountains that are found on either sides, on all the sides of the Deccan Plateau. In this case, we've already analyzed the image, so it is easier for us to see, because here is your Deccan Plateau. On one side, there are Eastern Ghats mountain ranges, as well as the Western Ghats mountain ranges. That is clear from the image. That's why they say study the image first before you rush to answer the questions. So here, we can say that on the western side of the mountain, we have got the Western Ghats. We have got the Western Ghats mountain ranges, and then on the eastern side we've got the Eastern Ghats mountain. So we've got the Eastern Ghats mountain range. So you just look at the image and you analyze. Okay, we've got Western Ghats mountains as well as Eastern Ghats mountains on both the sides. When they say either sides, they mean on both the sides of this. And you can see that this question is 2 marks, so it means that we are supposed to give 2 mountain ranges. So it is 2 marks, so we are supposed to give 2 mountain ranges. And then now 1.2.3 asks us, how do basaltic plateau forms? Remember, I've explained this in my video introducing topography associated with horizontally laying strata. or the horizontally laying rocks, that the basaltic mountains, they originate from lava. Okay, remember that lava, that's just basically molten rock or liquid rock that is found below the Earth's surface. So it actually rises, or the lava actually flows to the Earth's surface, basically. So basically here we have got lava that is erupting. So lava is just what actually causes a volcano, that thing that looks like fire. It's a liquid, but it looks like fire. When it solidifies, or when it hardens, or when it dries up, it will just become a mountain type of thing. So the lava erupts. The lava erupts and fills the Earth's surface. So the lava erupts and floods. You can say in floods, or you can say and fills the Earth's surface. So it just means that we have got that a liquid that looks like fire, and then it is flowing across the Earth's surface. And when that happens, that lava, remember, it's a liquid rock. It is rock, but then it is liquid. So it will just dry up, or it will solidify. So when this lava solidifies, it forms a basaltic plateau. When this lava solidifies, cools and solidifies, okay, it first cools because it's hot. So don't forget to say that it cools first and then it solidifies. So when this lava cools and solidifies, what will happen? It will form a basaltic plateau. So when this lava cools and solidifies, it forms a basaltic plateau. It's as simple as that, just your 4 marks there. So we have got lava that is rising from beneath the Earth's surface, and then when it reaches the Earth's surface, it will just flood out the area, or it will just fill out the area, and then this lava will cool down because it's hot coming from underground, and then when it cools, it will solidify, it will harden, it become harder and harder and harder, you see. So when it becomes harder and harder and harder, it will actually form a basaltic plateau. And then there you have it. That's your 4 marks. That's how the basaltic plateaus originate. Now let's look at 1.2.4. It says line A on the photo represents the height of the mountain range. So line A represents the height of the mountain range. So we are talking about this line here. This is the line A. So it tells you the height of the mountains here that are found in this Deccan Plateau. So now it says now, explain why the height stayed the same over time. Why did the height stay the same over time? Remember that these plateaus, they are found in Karoo landscapes. Basically, you can find a plateau in a Karoo landscape, and basically when this plateau is eroded, it doesn't actually change its height, or its height never decreases. Why is that? You have to just explain why it never changes its height, or why its height never decreases, because basically that's what its height will stay constant forever and ever. So the reason for having a constant height in those Karoo landscapes is that this plateau, as big as it is, on the top layers, it has got a hard resistant cap rock. So we say it is known as a cap rock, but we have to explain that it is hard and then it is resistant. So there is a hard resistant cap rock. So there is a hard resistant cap rock. It's a cap rock because it's found at the top of the mountain. And then this hard resistant cap rock is not easily eroded. So that is not easily eroded, or that is not easily lowered. So when erosion occurs here, the height will stay the same, because the cap rock here, which is the hard resistant cap rock here, it will not change its height. It will not be lowered because it's resistant to erosion. Because when you say that it is hard, it is resistant, it is not easily washed away, so its height will never change. So what actually causes this plateau to change, to become maybe a mesa? It is back wasting. Remember that the sides are eroded, but the height will remain the same. So when the sides are eroded, basically it was a plateau, but it will end up looking like this. This is now a mesa. And then you keep reducing this until it becomes a butte as well as a conical hill. So basically here, part is eroded on the sides or sideways is eroded sideways through backwasting. So we say it's backwasting, or it's known as scarp retreat. So now you've explained that here, the height of the plateau, since the plateau forms part of the Karoo landscapes, of course, it remains the same, or it stays the same over time, because there is hard resistant cap rock that is not easily eroded or easily lowered, but then it is eroded through backwasting. There you have it. And then now 1.2.5, it says explain why basaltic plateaus receive low rainfall. Remember, we said that basaltic plateau, they've got an arid climate. They receive low rainfall. So basically, we are talking about the areas that we find here at the basaltic plateau. They do not get that much rainfall. So you just need to know one thing about the mechanism of rainfall to say that the rainfall can be caused by moisture that is coming from the ocean. Okay, so moisture can try to come from the ocean and get inside the land and cause rainfall. But because you see that basaltic plateaus are high, they are tall, okay, they are big, they are tall. You can see that they are what? They are big, they are tall, they are high. So they actually block, okay, they block the moisture from the oceans from coming into the land. So basically the land here will have less average rainfall. So there will be less average rainfall here around this region where we find the plateau. Is because of the height of these plateaus. It is blocking moisture, or it is cutting off moisture from the oceans. So you have to explain that the plateaus are high. Okay, they are tall. Okay, the plateaus are high, therefore they block moisture. So they block moisture. Remember, moist air is the one that actually condenses to form rainfall. Yes, so they block moisture. Or remember, because that moisture or moist air, it is the one that causes rainfall. So they block moisture from entering, or you can say that the moisture that is coming from the oceans. Okay, basically let's just say from the oceans. So when you have got a plateau, the plateau has got a very big height, or it is tall, so its height will be the one that blocks. The most important thing is to say that they are high and they block moisture from entering. This moisture is actually coming from the oceans. It is the moisture that results in rainfall, but basically there will be less rainfall due to this due to this cut off of moisture caused by the height. Now it says evaluate the economic importance of the horizontal landscapes like the basaltic plateaus. Remember, economic importance, it has to do about benefiting the economy of South Africa. Basically, when we have got horizontal landscapes such as the basaltic plateaus, how can they bring more money to the country so that we can eat it and stuff like that. So basically, you know that these look beautiful. The mountains are aesthetically beautiful, so they attract tourists. So the basaltic plateaus are aesthetically beautiful, so they look beautiful. They're aesthetically pleasing, and they attract tourists. Okay, you can say therefore they attract tourists, or they are tourist attractions. So they attract tourists, so people like to come and visit and and look at these beautiful mountains. So the plateaus are beautiful. And one more thing, you can see that the plateaus, they're actually horizontally layered. So you can try to do sheep farming there. But it's not something that you can do occasionally. But basically, sheep farming as well as even cattle as well. okay, as well as cotton, all of those. So cotton farming is okay, cotton farming can be carried out at the plateaus. So cotton farming, I remember that we can sell cotton to cotton companies and they can make your beautiful jerseys so that cars. So here you have got cotton farming. So the cotton farming can help the economy grow significantly as well. And then the other thing that you can talk about, we can even talk about planting crops. You can plant crops, the ones that don't require that much water, because basically remember that we have said that there is less rainfall or there is low rainfall. Okay, so we need to plant dry crops, not dry crops necessarily, but crops that do not require much water. But you can see that the gradient is gentle for plateaus. Okay, it's not an incline strata, it is gentle. So you can try and do there's some plantations here. So there's a gentle gradient. Plateaus have got gentle gradients at some point, or they are leveled up. Okay, so this enables this enables agricultural activities or crop farming. So you can plant crop farming here. You can plant crops here. It is because the gradients are gentle. So these can work as well. So you can talk as many as you can. There are many more that you can talk about there. You can talk about the soil. Since weathering is happening here, there must be soil that is weathered away here from the plateaus. During scarp retreat, that soil can be fertile as well. Okay, so there are many more economic advantages that you can talk about. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to stay tuned.